There's an oldie but a goodie, a truth that says, seek first to understand. It predates Stephen Covey, but a guy named Stephen Covey made it kind of popular a few years back. And I do not honestly know where it originated, but it's some of the greatest advice you will ever receive in life. If you are trying to make your marriage work, it is phenomenal advice. If you're trying to counsel somebody that's needing help, it is phenomenal advice. If you are doing anything in life, it is phenomenal advice. You have anger issues, you have temper issues, do this and you will fix that. You cannot pause to look at it from the other person's perspective and still be upset. In sales, it is everything. Again, I'm talking about selling. I'm not just talking about presentation, retail, you decide to buy and you have to pick it up and take it over and get the money. I'm talking about in selling. Seek first to understand. I made notes for a change, so hopefully we'll follow better. What does it mean? First, it means, what is the other person's perspective? What is their viewpoint? Where are they coming from? Why are they acting the way they are in this format? If you don't like format in this situation, in this environment, at this moment, trust me, and I'm going down a little rabbit hole here, people do not act the exact same way in different environments. You don't act exactly the same way when it's 112 degrees outside as you do when it's 28 degrees outside. I don't like it. I don't like to admit it's true. Zig Ziglar would come up and slap me if he was here. But it is true. Things like that affect you. Different situations affect you. What is your stress level? What is your happiness level? La da 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 da. Why are they acting the way they are? Then, what are they actually saying or trying to say? That's huge. Hopefully I'll make sense of it by the end. How do you do this? First, set the other person first. How can you understand where they are when you are only judging from your perspective? This is huge. I cannot measure it enough. How can you possibly get in their shoes when you're still standing in your own? The old saying, the old Indian wisdom, you can't walk a mile in another man's moccasins. Can't put his moccasins on when your shoes are still on. You have to get outside of yourself and look at it from their perspective. It changes everything. Do so. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. It takes stopping being selfish. It takes stopping thinking what I want and what I need. And this is not said to be insulting. This is said to be educational. But it is the issue of, are you still a baby? A baby cries for its milk. A baby whines, I need my milk. Of course he does. You know why? Because he hasn't developed the ability to worry about mom. A 6-week-old baby is not concerned about, well, is mom happy? Is she healthy? Is she getting the rest she needs? Has her body recharged? No, I'm friggin' hungry and it hurts. Feed me. My body's growing really, really fast. And I used to have it warm and cozy and was fed nonstop automatically. So, if you're still a baby, you're still thinking you. When you reach your highest level and you're thinking to me, oh, well, that's not true. Pause for a moment. Think of the person that you actually judge if they're not absolutely perfect. For most of us, it's a religious figure. If not, it's a high-level politician. To the point where we honestly force them to fake things all the time, but that's a whole different story. We expect them to always be thinking of us first. If you go up to your preacher and you're having a rough run and you try to explain to him your struggles and your hurts, and he looks at you with a glassy gaze and interrupts you halfway through and starts talking about what he's interested in and what happened to him that week, how long are you staying at that church? How favored is that priest of yours? Not very. You flat expect them to put you first, to put themselves in your situation, to empathize. If you can understand the word empathy, and that is not meant to be disrespectful. Empathy is a difficult concept. And all of this has levels, some of which you're just going to have to dig into your own. I've chased that rabbit enough. What is their background? What are their goals? Hell, just ask and listen. A 28-year-old mother of 2 from a wealthy community has a very, very different perspective than a male doctor from Pakistan. All right? What is their background? What are their goals? This is important, but I don't want to get lost on it too much. They may have the exact same goals, but a different perspective. Let's go with that for a second. Mother of two, raised in shelter, 28-year-old, phenomenal. I mean, everybody wants to know her, everybody wants to be her friend. Great person. But has been relatively taken care of. Daddy loved her, he provided for her, he gave her discipline so she'd grow up to be good, and she did. Guy that just happened to be born with genetic brilliance in Pakistan, did good in school, and we all know him. His name's Dr. Patel. He came over here, went to medical school, has done very well, has made good money. Heck of a guy. We'll go with our own prejudice and say he's a good Christian man as well. They both come to you and they want to build their house. Very different perspective where they're coming from. You can't just meet them. You can't decide I'm going to sell them a car and they're trying to achieve the same thing. Absolutely not. She's probably expecting a little bit of luxury, a little bit of being taken better care of, a little more pampering. I got to keep up with my friends, yada, yada, yada. Now, Dr. Patel is probably one of two other places. He is either probably very strength and structural and control and knowing what I have, or, by gum, all you people look down on me my whole life are going to look up to me now. And it's totally about the big wheels on the raised up truck and the mansion on the hill and the ultra Tag Heuer watch and all this stuff. I'm not judging either one. I'm saying they're coming from different perspectives. But I promise you, he's never come to talk to you from a soft, loving, feminine, I was well cared for by daddy side. Put yourself in their perspective. What are they trying to achieve? How are they trying to get there? Ask them. If you're not good at this, it's not hard to learn this. Ask. I say this so often, I wear anybody out that watches these. Shut up and listen. Ask a question and listen. But try to discern and understand. Important side note. Almost all people have the same long-term goals. Study psychology at any level. Famous Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is overdone, among many others. Their perspective, their upbringing is all the difference. And of course, ultimately, their short-term goals to get the long-term ones. Big question is why that short-term goal? In other words, if we're all after shelter, food, security, prestige, ultimately giving back, blah, blah, blah. We have the same basic goals. You want to make it more core? Basic goal is we want to be happy. We want to be secure. We want to be fed. We want to be safe, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there are some very core things. It's not hard. If you've never thought about these things, pause now and do so a moment. What is the core thing driving all humans? What is the core thing driving you? Why do you make the decisions you do? Why do you make the choices you do? That will help you understand why other people do. I will never cease to be amazed. And yes, I'm running down a rabbit hole for a minute. This is one of my, just drives me crazy things. I got to understand me. I got to go find me. I have to understand. Fool, why didn't you do that when you were 2? And if you haven't done it yet and you're 57, do it now. How do you not know you? How do you not understand you? And holy smoking Jehoshaphat, how are you going to advise, guide, help anyone else possibly do better, achieve more, get their goals, buy, sell, trade, anything when you can't even understand yourself? How the frig are you going to understand them? If you don't know how to put on your own shoes, how are you going to put on theirs? Sorry if it hurts, but good gosh, you need to be heard if that isn't true. Because that little simple, stupid metaphor that just came to me, bank it. You want to walk a mile in somebody else's moccasins, you better know how to put on your own friggin' moccasins first. What does motivate you? What pushes you? How are you getting there? Have you met those core needs? Are you lying to yourself? You got some issues in your life, you got some issues in your marriage or whatever, you want to know what? 90% of them are tied around lying to your own self. trying to set your own way, trying to figure out, I don't want to face my issues. I don't want to, come on, man, get down and be honest with yourself for a minute. You should judge yourself the second you wake up every morning. And if it's hard, be hard and go forward and move with it. Are you going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Quit trying to judge yourself at perfection. You can't make it. Unfortunately, your goal is to try to imitate Jesus Christ. Do your best. When you fall short, forgive yourself. It's kind of in that Bible. And then move forward. Now then, try to understand what these people are trying to achieve. We're going back now. Sorry about running down the rabbit hole. I need to drink coffee. What is the reason for this short-term goal? If we all have the same ultimate long-term passions, why is little Missy or Doctor or Junior or Will, whatever, why this goal? Why are they even talking to you? I don't care if you're selling a You Build It job. I don't care if you're trying to sell your used car. I don't care if you're buying furniture. I don't care what you're doing, anything that's any level of negotiation. If you're counseling, people are talking to you in this situation, in this environment, because they have a short-term goal. Shockingly, tons of them don't really understand their own motivation. That's okay. It's your job to serve them. It's your job to understand their motivation. It's your job to try to figure it out. And you don't have to look at them and go, well, I have clinically discerned what it is you're trying to achieve. No. You're trying to help them. You want to be selfish? You're not trying to help them. You're trying to get to sell and help yourself and get money in your own pocket. I prefer the higher scale, but I'm okay if you're going for the lower. Right now, what we're focusing on is how to try to sell somebody. You need to understand why they are here. I got to break this out a little bit. I don't need you to just know here's their goal. God bless you. If you have been able to actually understand what their goal is, and then you've been able to at least get it down to a little bit of a bullseye, believe it or not, you are at the top 5% of salespeople in the world. I'll use one that's not even directly related to us. Let's look at buying a sofa. There are 5 billion sofa salespeople. Somebody walks in to look at a sofa. The average salesperson thinks their goal is to buy a sofa. That is the 95%. And that person is going to walk around, he's going to show them some sofas. He might be charming, he might not. She might be pretty, she might be ugly. They're going to sell enough sofas, they're going to do okay. If they work hard enough and grind hard enough, they might be in the top segment of the field and think they're good. This person is nothing but a retail person. That is not why that person is there. Why are they buying the sofa? That just puts you into the top 5%. That is the question you need to find. That is where you do sales at a level that other people just freaks them out. If anything, they get mad at you because you're taking it somewhere else. Now, you want to be the top 0.001%? Discern for me why that. Julie's not here to buy a sofa. She's here to buy a sofa because her husband got mad. The dog chewed up the other one. Jennifer, her sorority friend, got a better sofa and her house looks better. And I've always been chasing Jennifer. My husband got a promotion. I finally have a chance to do something different. The relatives are coming over and they're going to be needing something to sleep on. It can be simple. It can be complex. It has layers. Take it to the next. Give you the harder one. Julie's buying it because sorority sister Jennifer got one. Ha ha ha, this is fun. Why? Why does that matter? That's the next one. That's the bigger one. And guys, that's where you not only become the best, that's where it becomes fun. It really does. I mean, most of you aren't going to want to go here, but I am going to for a minute and just a little bit. You get to be a doctor. You get to heal people sometimes. You'll help them work through little bitty issues they've got they don't even know they have. And you're not going to do it directly. You're not a therapist. They're not coming in. You're just going to realize, and you're going to help them fill a need. You may just fill it for a day or two, but you may fill it for a lifetime. You may heal it. And you may help them to show it in a way that they can see it and they can get to better. It's not your place to judge. It's your place to help and to guide and to advise. But the other thing is it's a lot more fun. You developed a relationship. You got to know somebody at a stronger, deeper place. You also strengthened your broad base of knowledge because guess what? Your very first time to do this, you're nowhere near as good at it as you are your 897th. And you're nowhere near as good then as you are your 634th because you there's this huge foundation of knowledge under you. And you want to know what else? You're going to get them wrong every now and then, but that's our next step. Be willing to judge and to judge quickly. I don't mean, if anyone gets offended, pardon me now, I don't mean be a friggin' asshole. I don't mean judge like, he's a punk, I hate him. Well, they were stupid. Well, you're a loser. No. But stereotype them. If you went to high school in America in the 80s or 90s and possibly even the 2000s, you were taught stereotypes are bad. Bullcrap. Stereotypes are good. They serve a purpose. It's where you got to begin. It's where you got to begin. Guy comes in, his hat sideways, his pants, he's like this. Throw him in the stereotype. There's a reason. Is it where he belongs? Is he a bad person? No, but the guy's screaming at you, judging me at some level. Judge. Start picking it out. Because when they first walk in the daggum door, everyone, sorry, I'm not going to get this erased real good right now, is this tree you're trying to get way down into the trunk of, deeper than they probably have even gotten themselves, and it's got 5 billion potential branches. Okay? Yes, Mar, it's horrible here. Judge, you got to get rid of branches. The whole goal is to knock them all down. Start somewhere. All right? Pick a place. Nail them. Get in your head. Oh, this gal comes in. She's a little fancied up. She's got lots of rings. Her kids are very pristine and well behaved. I'm guessing she probably grew up with a little bit of wealth. She was probably her daddy's princess. She probably went to a pretty nice university, married a nice guy that's got a good education, a good income, and looks and appearances and keeping up with the Joneses matter. Now, it's quite possible that this gal dug herself up out of the trailer park in the mud all on her own, went out and invented something and made a fortune. I'll figure out I'm wrong soon enough, but I'm going to make my quick judgment because that's going to affect how I'm going to react to this person. Here is the second part. Be willing to realize you judged incorrectly and even more quickly correct your judgment and judge again. The fact that this little person, this illustration comes in and I make that judgment, but things just aren't lining up, it doesn't seem to fit, and so I start asking questions and shutting up and listening. I learn, no, this is a person that's 100% self-made, blah, 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 blah. Throw that aside, get the new one. Start reacting to them accordingly. If I knocked off the wrong branches, reattach them and go knock off the right ones. Be willing to assess. Be willing to judge. But it's not, well, I put you in this box and you're stuck there. Come on, fool, you're the one drawing the box. They're not making the box. Open the friggin' lid and put them in the next box. I've said fool too many times today. I'm sorry. I got to quit that. Adjust, but always be adjusting. Always be adapting. Always be building to. Realize, stereotype. One of the great things I learned in logic class decades ago. What is true of the group is not true of the individual. Likewise, what is true of the individual is not true of the group. Middle-aged, bald, fat men tend to die of a heart attack by the time they're 70. That doesn't mean I'm gonna. If you're selling me insurance, you probably assume it, but still. So what's true of the group? Now what you got to do is start breaking it down. I got my stereotype. I got my quick judgment here. Now I got to narrow it. I got my stereotype, then the stereotype, then the stereotype, then the stereotype. Short, fat, middle-aged, bald men. Short, fat, middle-aged, bald men that exercise. Short, fat, middle-aged, bald men that exercise and drink a glass of wine every day. Short. all the things to discern it down. You're doing the same. Susie was well taken care of. Okay. Has good money and has done well. No. Oh, wrong one. Is dang near broke and is struggling just to keep up. Okay. Why are we trying to keep up? What is the goal for that? Well, because it was just taught to. Well, how do we get around that? How do we help them to see what they're trying to do? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm going too long, so I'm going to get the last page. Wow. This is way off track. It's not totally, but we're backing up because I went down some side notes. I'm going to stop here. We're going to be here way too long, and you're probably not going to be able to stay with this video if we go any longer. Seek first to understand. I can't stop there. I'm sorry. Turn it off if you want to. We're going to go into the second section. People lie. Everyone lies. You lie. Your clients lie. Realizing that is a very big thing for you. Here's your second step, and you need to make this step quick. Don't be holier than thou. And don't get dumb. Well, everybody lies. They're all liars. I can't listen to them. Oh, come on. Quit being a putz. Why are they lying? Let's go back to being the 0.001% again, or at least the 5. Why are they lying? You have two types. You have the person that lies intentionally. Let's see if I can get this stupid eraser to work, so I can try to put some note up here on this. Intentional. Again, if I misspelled, my apologies. They are easy to spot, but very hard to deal with. This is very important because the intentional liar you may not even want. You may not even want them for a client. And if you do, you have to completely and always cover your fanny from liability. A person that will straight up look you in the eye and lie is going to struggle. Now then, why are they lying? What is the purpose of it? Most common is total self-interest. Deal with the issues. Deal with the issue and earn their trust. On the self-interest liar, you have the person. This is the one I strongly advise you not to take as a client. It's hard to walk away from on money, and that comes from a person that still signs them now and then. I advise against it. I'm going to call this person unfairly a little bit, I know I misspelled that, psychotic. This person is going to lie, and they're going to lie again, and they're going to cheat, and they're going to manipulate, and they're going to steal because they're just a bully. And they're going to use lies to try to be tricky, to try to manipulate. They're out for them. Kill them all. Not even kill them. I don't mean you kill them. Their attitude is kill them all. There's the old saying, kill them all, God will know his own. This is, I don't care who I hurt. I don't care who gets struggled. I'm out for me. I got one client right now. I'm not going to say his name. I realized he was borderline this way. If I'd had any idea it was this dramatically so, I would never sign him as a client. Luckily, I did know enough that I completely covered my fanny. Unlike, let's hope I am as smart as I think I am on that end. But tough, tough client. Tries to cheat every sub, tries to cheat every supplier, lies about the situation he's in. I mean, this just is the psychotic. The other one is the one that's playing a gambit. This person thinks they're smarter than you, trickier than you, or they just flat don't trust you. These are not evil. These are okay. They're telling you something with their lie. They're telling you, I want something. I have something I really, really want. I really, really want a cheaper price. I really, really want a higher quality. I really want whatever it is. Theirs is pretty easy. For them, deal with the problem. Figure it out. You not need to confront their lie. Confront their lie, people will always cover their fanny. We were taught as children, the founder of our country, George Washington, shall not tell a lie. Lying's bad. You go to hell if you lie. A ruler across your hand, whatever. we will not admit we lied. If you are even from a newer generation, if you're a 60s, 70s child, you were taught deny, 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 deny. Pile lie upon lie upon lie upon lie upon lie, rather than ever admit you lied. Don't confront the lie. Same time, don't be afraid of it. Don't feel like you got to beat it. Don't get mad and offended that they lied to you. They're telling you something huge. What did you just tell me when you lied? There's something big you really want. Figure out what that is. Deal with that. It's an objection. It's just an indirect objection, not a direct objection. If price is the issue, let's get into it. I either need to defend price, and you can do this indirectly. Well, Mr. Johnson, we're running a special. Well, Mr. Johnson, are you with our fee? Because, well, I know we're an extreme value and break-in, and this is why, because of the relative cost to what it takes. Then let me pull out the sheet and explain to you how we save you money, and this is our overhead and what's involved, blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, deal with it. They'll set aside the lie. They've at least gotten what they wanted. Now you can at least turn it into an above-board objection and take it from there. The next one, and this is the one where I'm afraid to keep going, is the most common. Let's leave that for a moment. The unintentional liar. The person that does not know they're lying. That's a fun one. We'll teach that another day. Now I've gone too long. Let me just say that's the most common. Go back and watch the first half of this again to try to figure out how and why. This is what you're trying to help folks with. This is why you're constantly looking, what is the motivation behind the motivation behind the motivation. Another side note of that is, guys, doing 20 presentations a month can get real boring if it's just you saying the same daggum words every time. The people and their story is what makes it fun. The people and their story is what makes it cool. It's what guides you through. Make it sales call, sales call, sales call, sales call, sales call. If you don't ever, even in a 5-second blurb, put the person, play a scenario, craft a game around your head, can get mundane. But when that person answers, woohoo! I mean, heck, I'd even sit there and listen to their voice on the answering machine and play a scenario in my head. Who is this family? Why are that way? Again, it's okay to be wrong. Learn how to start putting them in a scenario, because it enables you to start working to figure out where I'm at. Way too much, way too much. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did saying it. Thank you guys. Have a great day.